Hello there everybody, this is Graham, also known as the Collector 75, and welcome back to another Transformers review. Right, for this review I am doing the Generation 2 / Beast Wars 2 Autorollers. Yeah, let's just get straight down to it, I think. The Autorollers were of course released for Generation 2, of course, but only featured 2 of them, which I'm going to show you quickly now. This is one of the first ones. I only have the Generation 2 ones in their boxes. So this is the first one. This one is Dirtbag. Let me just get it so the light's not shining right on it. Now then, by this time, this is a late Generation 2 figure. They actually dropped the Generation 2 logo and it was just Transformers, but of course it still had the G2 Decepticon insignia. Actually also came with like a 3D pop-up card, which was the sort of norm back then, because I've got the laser cycles, the American versions, because this is the American one. The European one came in a box, much like a mega classed box back at the time, like for the Beast Wars. But these ones are all carded. Yeah, so this one's Dirtbag. He's a direct homage to Long Haul out of the Constructicons. Now I've got the other one, which is Roadblock. Here we go. That's him in his little box. Yeah, and he's like a direct homage to Scrapper. Yeah, now then, the gimmick on these ones, because nearly all G2 figures had gimmicks. These gimmicks were that they transformed automatically. Yeah, so which I'm going to show you in a minute. Most people probably won't like these figures at all because their posability is absolute shit. And, well, for that main reason, really. Also, there was going to be 2 more Autorollers for the G2 line. I'm going to put a little picture up the end, which I've just found on the internet. These 2 were going to be called General Optimus Prime and Sergeant Hound, and were recolours of these 2. The original 2. I actually thought that they were going to be these 2, but not from the picture I've just found. Featured this one, the yellow one here, in like a sort of like a green camo, which was going to be Optimus Prime, which I thought would have suited Hound, to be honest. And then this one was going to be like in a weird Arctic camo sort of colour for Hound, but I think they should have switched them around and released them really, but there you go. Still, never mind. Right then, let's get on to Beast Wars 2. Of course, now then, this was a Japanese series and followed on from the first series of Beast Wars. They only got the first series of the CGI Beast Wars TV show. And then after that, they created 2 TV shows of their own. One was called Beast Wars 2 and the other one was Beast Wars Neo, which just stood for Beast Wars New. Right, and then some of these figures, which I'm going to show you the boxes now. I'm going to start with this guy. Where is he? Number 17. Which one is this? This is the one. Number 17. And they actually went off most like in the American series of Beast Machines, where you had the good guys, the Maximals, or in these cases they were still called Cybertrons and Destrons, but we'll call them Maximals and whatever for easiness sake. The good guys are all insect or animal kind, but the bad guys, the Decepticons, are all vehicles. Bit strange, but there we go. And of course now this one is Auto Stinger, he was called in this. And came with a nice repaint of Transketo, which is really cool. I don't know if that's going to show up too well on the camera there, because these are the Versus packs. So I bought these at the time. The guy I was buying them off just offered me as a bit easier, rather than just buying them. I think he just wanted to get rid of them really. I know he paid about £10 extra for them. But it came with all these really cool recolours, which I'll show you. Actually, I'll go through the boxes first. This is Versus 18. This one is Auto Crusher, sorry, and comes with a really cool sort of like blue Maximal repaint of oh, I can't remember his name now. Retrax, that's it. There we go. See, and if you look at the bottom here, we have the list of all the figures out that year. I wanted to get this guy, which was the Starscream and BB Versus pack with Bone Crusher, because he's repainted in red, but I never got that one. It's about the only one I missed. Now, which one's next? This one, which is one of my faves. This one is Auto Jetter. Like I say, I've got the figures out of the boxes already, and comes with a cool repaint of Jetstorm in red, which I really liked. Yeah, that's that box. Don't want to spend too much longer on the boxes. And the last one is Auto Launcher. It's just a red auto roller type thing, and he came with a slightly recoloured Man Terror. There is a reason, because he both fired discs, you see, so they're supposed to be like mortal enemies or something, as I just looked on Wikipedia. Right, so we put them down there, and we're going to get onto the figures themselves now. Right, so the first one, this is Auto Stinger, and of course he's like a yellow dump truck. a direct homage to Long Haul from the Constructicons of G1. He's pretty good. I put the nice Predacon logo on him there from Repro Labels, and he comes with these translucent purple missiles. They don't do nothing, they just stick on the top, they don't fire or nothing. He rolls pretty freely, as you can see. Let me try and get that in the camera so you can see it. He rolls pretty freely. And his transformation is activated by this little switch at the back here. It's sort of like a gearing system. At the moment he's like in neutral, so that allows him to roll. But as soon as I flick it like that, there we go, so I moved it over, he now should transform automatically. But it's been problematic to say the least. Here we go, you've got to hold it somewhere and push down, and there he goes, he's off and he's transforming. Sometimes you've got to help him a little bit, but yay, there he goes, and that's him in robot mode. And then I just like to push it down there and it locks it in place. And this is Auto Stinger in robot mode. Now then, you can move his arms. I like to take these little missiles off here. Just put them there for a second. And he's got a little button just here. Let me try and move my light so it's not always in the dark. Here we go. So he's got a little button here, and you push this all the way to the back, and here we go. It creates his little sort of like grabbing arm. And you can move it back and forth to do some grabbing with it if you want. You move his other arm, and you can put these little missiles in here, and this gives him his missile arm, like that, and they're fairly lethal little missiles. Let me see if I can get this sort of, you can see them. There we go, that's gone into my fan, that's great. Anyway, we're going to pop him down. These do also reverse transformation. I won't try this on this one because it's a bit of a nightmare, but it does work. Let me pop him there without him falling over. He's got really good articulation in his arms, and his head will move from side to side. But other than that, he's got no posability whatsoever, but he looks kind of cool. I quite like them. Right, we're moving on to the next one. This one is Auto Crusher. He's like a steam shovel, dump truck, whatever you want to call him. Power shovel, I can't remember what they call him now. But anyway, you get the idea of what he is. That's a nice 360. I put a nice little Predacon logo on the top there. These missiles you can take off, which I'm going to do now, actually. Don't know why, but I don't really like the look of them when they're on the top there. I'm going to put them down there. And of course he rolls quite freely as well. There we go. Let me just angle his little wheels. There was a bit skew with there. So he moves quite freely. And then once you put him in gear, he will then transform himself. Let me just do it. Here we go. He's off, and there we go. And then I lock it in position. There we go. And that's Auto Crusher in robot mode. Then you just got to free his arms up a little bit. Like this. Put one of his missiles in his hand, like that, and that's another little lethal little missile. And then, but on this one, he's got a nice little saw blade, and then he's got a little button under here, and you do that, and it sort of spins like that. It's pretty good. And his head, of course, will move from side to side. He's got some nice light piping in his head. We're not going to sort of like get that to show up too well. No, you can sort of see it, but it's pretty good. They're my two faves out of the whole bunch. Right, we're going to get on to the next one, which has got a little bit more involved, which is Auto Launcher. Now then, he's like one of these sort of armoured sort of personnel carriers type thing. Looks a bit like a water, he's got water cannons on the front there, or whatever they are. It's got a nice little aerial there. But that is about it. Now then, but he does have a nice little function. Oh, I just remembered, if I'm alright, these guys do have the Predacon rub symbols, which he's got his one just there. And I don't know where his one is, it's probably hanging around. Who knows where his one is, but I just thought I'd show you that because they do come with them. Right, this guy's got firing missiles. If you put, he's got a little switch under here. His wheels will roll freely then, and then you switch it over. Now then, will it work? It didn't work earlier, but I've got it to. Feels like it wants to break, but oh, there we go. There we go. So he's got firing missiles, and you basically you just lift up this, and it's on a little spring, and you should put the missiles in there. That's pretty good. And that's really it for this mode. He's got a little concealed gun in here, which you've got to take out for his robot mode. It's just in there. Alright, so we're going to take that out, close that back up. Now then, to transform this guy, we push the little switch over to this side. Then he should transform. Let me just move this guy out of the way. Like that. Here we go. Hey! Oh, there we go. That's pretty bad. And that is him in robot mode. Whoa! Nearly everyone fell over them. Right. This one also has a reverse transformation, a bit better than the other two, because the other two you just left in gear and pulled it backwards. This guy, if you now switch it all the way over, you push it forwards, and this time it will transform back into car mode. Oh, his arms never usually want to go right, but that is it. And then you sort of like push it into the middle, into neutral. But we need him in robot mode, so we're going to transform him again. There we go. Then we're just going to lock it in place and it sort of stays there. Right, so this is Auto Launcher in robot mode. Going to move his arms. He's got nice little arms in here. So free them up. His head will turn from side to side. Now then, you get his little gun. Pop that in there. Then we get out this little spear. Oh, from there, and it's got a little groove, so it'll only fit in one way in this little gun. There you go, and he's got his little harpoon gun, which is pretty good. We're going to fire it over here. There we go. That can go down there. Now it's Auto Launcher. He looks a bit fat, to be honest. Anyway, then we're going to get onto the last of these figures, which is one sort of my fave in a way, which is Auto Jetter. He is like a jet. He's got a little landing gear, so you can push him along when he transforms. This one doesn't transform too well, unfortunately. So I'm going to push his little landing gear up for now. I don't need it out. Yeah, so he's pretty good. He can fly him about the place and everything. He comes with these comes with these black missiles. These do fire. What you've got to do is it's got one of these sliding sort of things, basically, because there's no springs. It's just literally how hard you push it against it. And let me see if I can get them to work. Hey, there we go. They're not great. I won't show you all them, but you get the idea. Anyway, they just push back into there because he's actually become his hands, which I'm not too keen on, but there we go. Right, so that's his jet mode. I put all the little Predacon signs on his wings and everything. Makes him look a hell of a lot better. Right, I've left this one in gear, so this should transform a bit better. He was not transforming very well at all earlier. No, and he don't want to do it at all now. What about now? Oh, there we go. He's off. There we go. That's Auto Jetter in robot mode. But then you just have to sort of like swing out the arms a little bit until you're happy with them. Like that. There we go. He's on loads of little joints and they do my head in a little bit. So you position them until there. And so now that is Auto Jetter in robot mode, and he's got all these guns for hands, really. So he's pretty well armed, but he can't actually pick up anything or whatever. He's got some nice little green light piping in his eyes there. Yeah, not everyone's cup of tea, these figures. These are more for collectors only. But I quite liked them at the time. They were some pretty cool figures. And, you know, like I say, I like quirky, strange figures like these, so that's why I like them. Yeah, that's about all I've got to say on them, really. I'm going to put some pictures at the end of them in their vehicle modes, robot modes, and a few of those unreleased figures, because I just found that picture and I think that'd be really cool for you to all see. Yeah, so this has been Graham, the Collect 75, and I hope you like this review, and I'll see you all next time.